Hey everyone, welcome back to the Anderson Bros Outdoors. This is Jake, and today I'm going to be doing a small update on the Bronco. I know I just provided an update on it, but I've tweaked some things and I feel like it's a much better vehicle overall. It's running better, it's crawling better, so I wanted to share these things and really review the Fury Tech brushless motor and ESC combo. And then also I can review the scx24 transmission. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so we're going to take the body off the truck and have a look at the changes that were made. I did secure the antenna and that zip tie that's holding the lights on. One note there, I was trying to get the Traxxas lights to work with a non-Traxxas receiver, and I was having a lot of issues. I was using a digital multimeter, and I just couldn't figure out how the lights were triggered. So I'm still working on that. Hopefully I can reverse engineer it so I can still use the headlights and tail lights because I really like them. As you can see here, I did some cleanup of the wiring and really the overall placement of the receiver, the ESC, and the battery. I zip tied them to the upper frame rails on either side in front of the motor to add more weight to the front. Note, I am running a R4FGM radio link receiver. It is a micro receiver. It does have 4 channels, so I could add additional things there if I wanted to. And then one of the major changes is I updated the ESC. So previously I was using the Lizard Ultimate, and I changed that to Lizard Pro. And then moving to the back of the truck, you can see the motor and transmission are the same. It is a micro komodo, and then the scx24 overdrive transmission, and then the batteries in the same battery tray. I did zip tie the wires down to make it look better. So the next thing I'd like to cover is the other additions. So previously I did not want to add any more weight in the back, as I felt like the ESC, the stock motor, transmission, and the battery had plenty of weight in the rear. Now that I've migrated to having a majority of the weight in the front, this is no longer conducive to the car's performance. So basically, when I run the car, the back end, it moves when I steer it. It doesn't climb very well. It doesn't grab traction. So one of the ways that I fixed this issue was I added the brass diff cover in the rear, and then I also added the brass hexes for the wheels. So these two things made a significant impact. I think that, overall it is the perfect truck for climbing. Trailing, probably not, as it does have the overdrive and you can't turn that off. So it is fast enough for trailing, though. I mean, the motor and ESC definitely provide enough juice with the 3S battery to go probably twice as fast as the stock TRX4M. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about that are not so good. The first thing is the ESC. So I did swap it out from the Lizard Ultimate to the Lizard Pro, and the performance is night and day different. I don't know what the difference is. Both of them were on firmware 2.12. So I will tell you that the Lizard Pro performs way better. There was a lot of cogging or stuttering with the Ultimate. I don't know what the problem was there, but moving it down to the Lizard Pro significantly helped the crawling and also helped prevent the stuttering or cogging of the brushless motor. So that's one major change. And then, like I said, the weight added to the back, it helped a lot. And I'll have some videos coming up here before long and show the performance of it. So the second thing that I want to talk about was the motor itself. So motor, I love it. It does crawl very well. I think that it needs to be a touch bigger, though. So when you get to an area where you're doing a vertical climb or you have some sort of hindrance in one of your tires, it doesn't really want to climb. It wants to stutter real bad. And then you have to give it a lot of throttle, and then it goes from 0 to 100,000 RPM, and the truck is all over the place. So I think that, however that's fixed, the torque just isn't there in large hindrance obstacles. So keep that in mind. I think the more weight you add, the worse it's going to get. So if you want to use these in competitions and have a 20-pound TRX4M, you're going to have to use a different motor. I would likely use scx24 transmission with the larger Komodo motor. If one of my friends wanted to purchase a TRX4M for fun, I would recommend that they purchase either the Bronco or the Defender. Obviously, the Bronco is going to have a lighter rear end. However, there's a few things that they need to do to it in order to make it a good crawler. Trail car, it's good right out of the gate. But if you want to crawl obstacles and do, we'll say, semi or challenging things, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to do right out of the gate. The first and foremost is wheels and tires. I think that's the biggest key. The second thing that I would recommend doing is bearing kit and greasing or adding grease to the differentials and transmission. The third thing that I would do is add some brass in the front to help add weight up there. And then the fourth thing is obviously add the servo, because once you add brass, you're going to strip the servo gears out. Anything else other than that, for an average user is really not required. The brushless system is great. I think it's fantastic. And any other changes such as the scx24 transmission, they're cool, but for the most part, your average user is not going to want to utilize those things or the need to utilize them and save hundreds of dollars potentially. We will be doing more outdoor crawling this weekend. We're going to be comparing Colton's blue Bronco versus my black Bronco. His is all stock with the exception of wheels and tires and low-speed gears. And he has the extremely heavy brass wheels. So we'll be able to get some good comparison in. So without further ado, let's get into the video.